This world calls it balance. I call it control.
Hello everyone, welcome to What If Naruto Became the New Ten Tails and got reborn in Avatar The Last Airbender movie. Before we start, please go support jazmingiordan for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Naruto is a male. After winning the Fourth Shinobi World War, Naruto and Sasuke had their last fight, as Naruto ultimately died taking the Ten Tails with him because he had sealed it inside himself. Prologue. Naruto was now in limbo, looking all around him, since there was nothing but yellow and white clouds, until suddenly Hagoromo appeared with a smile. Naruto, old man, what's happening where I am? Hagoromo, you are in limbo. Naruto, you are between life and death. Naruto, but I thought he was already dead. How is that possible? Hagoromo, I brought you here because I want to make you a proposal. Naruto, and what's it about? Hagoromo, Naruto, it's great to see my friends again. Hagoromo, no Naruto, I will revive you in another world, but don't worry, you will have your ninja skills. You will just have to train to regain your current power in that world. Naruto, I understand. Hagoromo, I will explain some things about that world to you as you will need them. Naruto, what do you mean by us? Talk about my kid. Naruto, Kurama, my friend, Kurama. Naruto, you seem a little strange. Kurama, it's because now I have one more tail, you idiot. Now I'm the 10-tailed fox, I'm stronger than before. Naruto, great database. Hagoromo, well, I'm going to tell you what you need to know about the place you're going to. By the way, Naruto, when you get there, you'll be 15 years old. Naruto, but I had already gotten used to being 17 years old. Naruto was 17 years old at this time. Hagoromo, I know, but it will be so. Hagoromo proceeded to explain everything about that world twice because Naruto hadn't understood the first time. Then Kurama went back inside Naruto, and Hagoromo created a portal. Hagoromo, well Naruto, I'll say goodbye. I hope you're happy in that world and that you help people the way you know how. Naruto, yes, old man. Hagoromo, by the way, you now have your Uzumaki blood, but your blonde hair will remain. You'll have to control the Rinnegan and the adamantine chains, understood. Naruto, so will I have all the elements? Hagoromo, yes, thanks to the Rinnegan. Scrolls will appear next to you explaining how to use your 2 Janka and another scroll with a bunch of jutsu, kenjutsu, taijutsu, and fuinjutsu. Well, you should go now. Goodbye, Naruto, goodbye, old man. Naruto entered the portal and his body began to revert to that of a 15-year-old boy, but his physique remained the same. It was still well developed. However, he now had to train to regain his full power. Chapter 1. Naruto was waking up, his head was spinning, but he saw a backpack next to him with some things and a note, which he picked up and began to read. Note. Naruto, I forgot to tell you, here's a backpack with ninja weapons that are infinite, so don't worry about losing or using them up. I also put in other things that might be useful like a sword just in case. It belonged to your mother, she asked me to give it to you. And your father asked me to give you his 3-pronged kunai, which are also infinite, so you can learn the Flying Thunder God technique. Good luck on your journey and in your new life. At Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Naruto, then I mustn't lose this backpack. Kurama, kid, you'd better find a place to rest and train if you want to regain your full power. Naruto, if my power now is like when I met Irosenin and he taught me the Rasengan, even though I'm 15 years old, I have the power of a 13-year-old boy. Kurama, I think my father wanted you to train and not be lazing around. Naruto, like someone I know. Kurama, why do I feel like you're referring to me? Naruto, I don't know anyway, I'd better find a place to rest during these weeks of training. Naruto began searching throughout the forest for a place to rest and train until he saw a waterfall with a lake, and it was in a clearing that was very good for training. Naruto, sometimes there's a cave in the waterfalls, so I'd better go see if there isn't one. Naruto channeled chakra into his feet and began to climb the waterfall, finding what he was looking for. Luckily, he had found a waterfall with a cave. Naruto, today is my lucky day, hehe. Kurama, that seems to be the case. Naruto put his backpack on the ground and began taking out some things like a futon which he placed next to the backpack. Then he went to gather firewood to make a fire. He created a clone to go and find food. After a few hours of Naruto doing this, it had gotten dark since it was already very late when he reappeared. He went back into the cave, made the fire, and began cooking a wild boar after skinning it. Naruto, you know, it reminds me of when I was kicked out of the orphanage and had to live in the forests. Kurama, kid, don't tell me you still haven't gotten over it. Naruto, the truth is that it still hurts. That day was my 4th birthday and the villagers gave me 2 scars that will never fade. Naruto touched his chest and then his back, but since he had already finished eating, he lay down on his futon and fell asleep so he could start training tomorrow. Chapter 2. It was already morning. But there were a lot of blonde-haired people training very hard studying things they were reading on scrolls. The truth is, taijutsu wasn't too difficult for him because he knew a little about it, and chakra control was a bit more challenging because he was now a pure-blooded Uzumaki. But his hair, instead of being red, was blonde because Hagoromo had wanted it that way. He had barely read about Fuinjutsu and didn't understand much about it because he had never read about it or been interested in it like he was now, with seals, marks, and things like that. But on the other hand, he knew very well how to store things on scrolls. The Rasengan and all its evolutions were a piece of cake since he knew exactly what he had to do, but he didn't know if he could be in Toad Sage mode, so he tried it, and well, it was a bit difficult, but he was managing. As for his 2 Kekkei Genka, well, he wasn't having much luck, just like with Kenjutsu. Naruto, I give up, I can't do that. Kurama, kid, don't think that waking up 2 Kekkei Genka is easy. Naruto, I know, but I wanted to wake him up faster and see the new places. Kurama, first training then travel. Naruto, okay. Naruto kept going until night fell and he went to sleep. Since I'm feeling lazy about training right now, I'll summarize everything. This past week, Naruto learned more about Fuinjutsu and mastered it very well. His Kenjutsu needed improvement in some areas, but it was good. He just left some gaps in his knowledge since Uzumaki Kenjutsu was difficult, just like when he first started training Uzumaki Taijutsu. But there was nothing he couldn't handle and he was a master at it. Regarding his Kekkei Genka, he could summon 5 chains of adamantium, orange and black with crimson tips. He could maintain the Rinnegan for only 2 hours and he got very tired afterward. As for Jutsu, he could perform some of different ranks. He could use Sage mode as before. He could only use Kurama's chakra cloak up to 4 tails now, but he had also been able to create a seal where 1 week was equivalent to 3 years, but it didn't affect his age. He learned a bit more about this, which is why he could only maintain the Rinnegan for 2 hours. Now he could use Kurama mode, but only for 5 hours. And well, now she found herself jumping from branch to branch with her backpack. Naruto had changed his clothes since his body was more toned than before and he was a little taller. You could say he was almost a head taller than Sasuke. When she thought of him, she thought of Tsunade and touched the necklace she had won in a bet. Naruto Tsunade Oba-chan Iro Sinen. Naruto snapped out of his thoughts when he reached a small town, so he ventured into it. He was now walking calmly through the streets of that little town, taking in everything until he stopped at a shop. Luckily, he had a little money, so he went in knowing that they wouldn't sell ramen like Ikaraku. He sat down at one of the many tables in the shop, which was currently sparsely populated, and now that he thought about it, everyone was giving him strange looks. Naruto, why is everyone looking at me like that? Naruto thought, a little nervous as he went to the table to avoid seeing the few people who were there. Kurama, I think I'm getting the picture. Naruto, and what would that idea be? Naruto thought, feeling a little uneasy. Kurama, from what I saw before entering this place, everyone has brown, black, and some white hair, but no one has blonde hair, so they're looking at you curiously since you're the only one with blonde hair, sapphire blue eyes, and now pale skin. Naruto, I understand. Naruto was lost in thought until someone pulled him from his thoughts. It was a woman with long brown hair and hazel eyes, and she was one of the waitresses who worked at that establishment. Waitress, would you like anything, young man? Naruto, yes, I want a stew. Waitress, okay, I'll be right back with your order. Naruto, okay. There were some women staring at him a lot, and that made Naruto very nervous, and he was getting tired of those stares. Naruto thought, now I understand what Sasuke felt when the girls stared at him too much. He glanced sideways at the women who were looking at him, and some men were glaring at him with hatred. If looks could kill, Naruto would be 6 feet under. After Naruto ate and paid, he left to find a place to spend the night. A few hours passed, and Naruto paid for a place to rest. He took a 15-minute shower and lay down on his bed with wet hair and no shirt. His ninja headband was on the nightstand next to the bed. Naruto, tomorrow I'll go see if there's a store that sells medicinal plants and some bandages just in case. Kurama, yes, that would be best. Naruto slowly began to close his eyes until he fell asleep. Chapter 3. Naruto was looking around the shops searching for one that sold medicine or something like that. He spent almost 2 minutes looking until he found what he was looking for. He entered the small shop and there was a middle-aged man. Man, good morning, what do you want, young man? Naruto, okay, I want 5 rolls of bandages, some medicinal plants, and if you have any, 2 ointments. Man, is it really necessary to take all this for a dangerous trip? Naruto, well, actually I wanted to explore all the places here and maybe I'll run into some bad people. Man, I understand, I'll bring it to you, wait. Naruto, yes. Naruto noticed the man looking at him curiously. He glanced around the shop until he saw 3 men larger than himself wearing black and red armor resembling flames. They had helmets of the same color as their armor. The middle-aged man seeing them turned back and tensed slightly, and Naruto noticed. Man, gentlemen, do you need anything? Man 1, you know what we want, old man, the pay for the Fire Lord. Man, but I already paid everything for this month. Man 1, well now it's gone up, so hurry up. Upon seeing this, Naruto couldn't help but get angry at those people who were treating the poor man like that. Naruto, hey, if that man said he already paid, then leave him alone. Man 2, don't get involved, brat. Naruto, I'll get involved if I want to. Man, young man, please don't get into trouble because of me. I'll pay you now, gentlemen. Naruto, no, old man, these men are taking advantage of their authority and I won't allow it. Man 1, brat, do you want to die? Naruto, and do you want to scare me? The man was about to attack Naruto when he disappeared and reappeared behind him, striking him hard on the back of the neck and knocking him unconscious. He then turned to face the other men who were also about to attack him and punched the one on the left in the face, sending him crashing into the door, which shattered. He ended up in the street, startling passersby. Another man was then knocked down with a blow to the stomach and landed on top of his companion. Naruto grabbed what he had asked for from the surprised middle-aged man and paid him what he had demanded, as well as for the damages. Man, what's your name, young man? Naruto, I'm Naruto Uzumaki and your old man. Mashiko, my name is Mashiko. Naruto, nice to meet you. Naruto left the building and saw that there were a lot of those soldiers like the ones he had left behind. There were about 10 of them, which made Naruto smile slightly. Naruto, I don't think they'll let me go without a fight, hee. Naruto looked at the soldiers who were surrounding him. Naruto, well, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto created 20 clones of himself to make a cloud of smoke and escape among the soldiers. He ran until he left Puebla, since for now he didn't want to fight. He continued jumping from branch to branch for a few hours until he stopped to rest a little since it was getting dark. Naruto, I can set up camp here. Kurama, yes, it's a nice place to camp. Naruto was about to make a campfire when he saw a small cloud of smoke where Kurama appeared in chibi form but with 10 tails. Naruto, now can you get out of me? Kurama, yes kid, but what do you want, in this form or higher? Naruto, can you make yourself taller? Kurama, I can be as tall as a horse too, but don't even think I'm going to carry you on my back. Naruto, Kurama, don't be so bad. Kurama looked away and then Naruto continued what he was doing. The blonde-haired boy had already bought food before the fight, so he started eating very calmly, and Kurama was also eating with Naruto. Naruto, I wonder what will happen to Konoha. Kurama, that's no longer our concern, we're in this world now. Naruto, I know, but I still would have liked to become Hokage, but I guess I couldn't keep my promise to those I told I would. Kurama, don't worry, if you hadn't done that in the fight with that Uchiha brat, he would have died, not you. Naruto, well, I felt I had to save him, but I hope Sasuke fulfills my dream since I remember him saying he also wanted to be Hokage. Kurama, you're right. Well, you'd better sleep, we have to wake up early tomorrow. Naruto, yes. Naruto lay down on his futon while Kurama returned to Naruto's interior, which was now not a clique but a forest with large trees and a meadow with a lake that looked more like the sea, and the grass reached the waist of a perfect human for Kurama. Naruto fell asleep since the fox was right. Tomorrow he had to wake up early to continue his journey. Chapter 4. It was morning, the birds were singing, and the cool morning breeze was felt. The small rays of sunlight that flew between the trees began to awaken Naruto, who opened his eyes and lazily got up to pack his things and continue his journey. But then he saw those men in armor again, and there were 3 girls with some very strange creatures. Naruto hid among the trees. Man 1, ma'am, we were informed that a strange brat defeated 10 of our men along with 3 who were looking for the money in that small town. What was it like? Man 1, he had golden hair, sapphire blue eyes, and pale skin. Golden hair. Man 1, yes ma'am, interesting. Naruto listened attentively to what they were saying until he got bored. He was about to leave when Kurama appeared and scared him, causing him to fall in front of those people. Naruto, Kurama, I'm going to kill you, Naruto thought, getting up with a little pain. The people who were watching him were about to attack him, but Naruto saw them. Naruto, goodbye. Man 3, attack. They all went against Naruto, but he gave a sly smile and moved at a superhuman speed so they couldn't see him. Man after man fell, but they were sent flying and crashed into a tree by Naruto's strength, who then disappeared. From there he began to laugh as he jumped from branch to branch, confusing the men. But the girls who were still sitting each had a different expression on their faces. One of fascination, another just watched the situation seriously, and the last one, who was surely the leader, looked at him with interest. Naruto, hahaha. Naruto reappeared in the middle of the men who were a little dizzy from spinning around so much. Naruto, hahaha, thanks for entertaining me, but I have to go now. He couldn't finish speaking because he was attacked by blue fire coming from one of the girls inside those creatures, but Naruto managed to dodge it before it touched him. Naruto, hey, be more careful. Who are you? Naruto, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Dadabeo, and you? Azula, I am Azula, daughter of Fire Lord Ozai and next in line for the throne. These are Mai and Ty Lee, my bodyguards. Ty Lee, hello, Mai. Naruto, nice to meet you. Well, I'm leaving now, so goodbye. Azula, no, you're not leaving, you're coming with me. Naruto stared at her for a moment until she jumped down from her creature and threw a blue fireball at Naruto, who dodged it. Naruto, sorry, but I'm not staying with anyone, he shadow clone jutsu. Then a cloud of smoke appeared, and when it dissipated, a bunch of Narutos were seen smiling gracefully at the surprised looks of the three girls. Naruto, good luck figuring out who's who, hahaha. Clones, hahaha, they'll never know. The clones started jumping around everywhere while Azula tried to attract one, but every time she did, they turned into a puff of smoke. The three girls who were busy catching the clones were watched by the original Naruto from a tree branch with some amusement. Kurama, kid, we have to go. That blue fire girl named Azula is a bit dangerous. Naruto, really? Kurama, well, not really for us, but he can take advantage of any distraction you have. Naruto, yes, you're right, it's best if we leave. Naruto left, leaping from branch to branch with superhuman speed and agility, while the three girls watched the last remaining clone. Azula, I've got you. But the clone disappeared as soon as she reached him, leaving Azula surprised since that was the last one. Ty Lee, where did he go? Where is it? Azula, I don't know, but I want it for myself, we have to find it. The three girls climbed onto the creatures and went to look for Naruto, who was jumping around now more relaxed with a Kurama on his head. Kurama, kid, we had to ask for a map. Naruto, yes, I know, but I forgot. Kurama, if we find a village, buy a map. Naruto, okay, those girls didn't give up. Kurama, apparently not. Kurama retreated back into Naruto as he glanced back where he could now see the three girls atop those creatures. Naruto, if it weren't for those weird creatures, I would have lost them, thought Naruto, jumping to another branch about 2 meters away from him to get a little further away from those girls. Kurama, it would be best if we separated them from those creatures. Naruto, yes. Ty Lee, that kid is awesome. My Ty Lee, we have to capture him, not flatter him. Ty Lee, I know, but it's still awesome. Azula, Ty Lee, climb those trees now. Ty Lee, yes. The girl with the long brown braids stood up from her salamander and jumped into Azula's hand, who threw her towards Naruto, but instead of catch him, he dodged her. Naruto, hahaha, sorry, but I won't let myself be caught that easily. Naruto kept jumping from branch to branch, and Ty Lee was finding it a little difficult to keep up, but he loved doing it. Ty Lee, this is great, hahaha. Naruto seems to enjoy jumping between trees. Kurama, she looks like a girl. Naruto, hehe, you're right, Databeo, thought Naruto, dodging an attack from a girl with dark brown hair tied in a tail that launched needles. Naruto was about to jump to another branch when he felt Ty Lee grab him by the waist and pull him down. Ty Lee, I've got you, Naruto, og. Naruto shook her off and was about to jump back into the trees when he had to dodge a blue fire attack from Azula, who was looking at him with interest. Naruto, it seems she's the only one of the three who uses fire. Kurama, yes, I think we should defend ourselves, kid. Naruto, yes, I think so too, Kurama, Naruto thought, looking at the three girls in front of him. Azula, you're very agile, you have superhuman strength as well as speed, and you do that multiplier trick seriously, you're very interesting. Naruto, thanks, I think. Naruto was about to leave again but was attacked by the weapons girl, which he had to dodge, but then a needle pierced his arm. Naruto NG. Naruto looked at the girls again, smiling before disappearing. Chapter 5. Naruto had replaced himself with a tree trunk and appeared behind Mal, kicking her in the back and sending her flying back to where he had been. Naruto then took 5 three-pronged kunai from his father's pouch and threw them randomly. The girls who had emerged from their surprise looked at him mockingly, well, only Azula, since Ty Lee was confused, as was Mai. Azula, I think you need more practice with your aim. Naruto, that's what you think. Azula looked confused at Naruto, who had just struck Ty Lee. Ty Lee went to where she had thrown the kunai earlier, and after a brief glance looked around until she saw Naruto strike Ty Lee again. Naruto sent her back to where the kunai had been, teleporting to each one and striking Ty Lee, who was helpless. Then Naruto stopped, threw another kunai far away, and began teleporting back to where the kunai were, collecting them as quickly as possible and putting them back where he had found them. Naruto, it was a pleasure meeting you all, but I have to go now, I have places to visit, hee. Azula was about to unleash a fire attack, but Naruto disappeared, leaving only a yellow beam. Azula, but what did he do? My Ty Lee, are you okay? You read? Why yes, that boy hits hard. Azula, come on, we have to find him. My, but Ty Lee is sick. Azula, og, you read? No, and I can continue, let's go. The girls climbed onto their salamanders to go in search of Naruto, who was far away and still jumping from branch to branch, now calmer because he didn't sense the presence of those 3 girls. Naruto, I finally managed to leave them far behind, I hope. Kurama, yes, although those 3 are very strange. Naruto, weird in what way? Kurama, one of them is clearly interested in you, you can tell by her gaze, the other looks like a 5-year-old girl, and the other one, well, I don't know if she's weird to be honest, she's like that serious Uchiha. Naruto, even in this world there are emos, now it's a girl's turn, before it was Sasuke, now her, what else is there in this world? Naruto kept running without knowing where he was going until he found a wall. Naruto, I don't know why, but I'm curious to know what's up there, Naruto thought, looking up. Kurama, the truth is me too. Naruto, then it's decided, let's go see if there's anything interesting. Naruto started walking calmly, but as he got bored he started running. After a few hours of running, he reached the summit where he found a temple that was almost in ruins. Naruto, it looks like there was a battle here, he thought, looking around. Kurama, that seems to be the case. Naruto walked only a little way until he stepped on something. When he looked at what he had stepped on, he saw some bones that must have belonged to a child since they were small. Naruto, how awful, there were even children here, Naruto thought as he got a closer look at the bones of a child. Naruto buried the remains of the people, although he had also seen those helmets of the girl he had crossed paths with who controlled blue fire. Naruto, Kurama, do you think she had something to do with this? Naruto thought with a serious face. Kurama, I think so, but let's not jump to conclusions so quickly. Maybe it was other people. Remember, she might not be the only one controlling fire. Naruto, you're right. He continued investigating the place. It seemed to be a temple that was beautiful and clean. He reached a place where there were a lot of logs separated but at a fairly short distance. Naruto climbed on top of them. Naruto, this must be a training method these people used, Naruto thought, looking around. Kurama, maybe yes, maybe no, who knows, kid, why don't we investigate? It's getting dark tomorrow. Naruto, okay, then I'll make camp somewhere around here, Naruto thought, jumping off the log he was on to find the perfect spot. Once he found it, he pitched his tent, putting his sleeping bag inside. He sent a clone to gather firewood for the campfire as it was a bit chilly. A few minutes passed before the clone returned and gave him the wood to start the fire. After it was finished, he ate some meat and bread, drinking water from a canteen in his backpack. Night had fallen and it was getting colder, so Naruto went into his tent and got under his futon. He used some fire chakra to warm himself up and avoid the cold while he slept. Naruto slowly closed his eyes until he fell asleep. Chapter 6. Naruto was already awake, eating peacefully, when he sensed 4 presences approaching. He got up looking somewhat serious and packed all his things into his backpack. He hid in some rubble, carefully concealing his chakra and his presence. Then he saw something very large but not like Kurama, who was flying. Naruto looked curiously at the creature but without leaving his hiding place. He also saw 3 people, a girl with long dark brown hair that reached her waist, tanned skin, and sky-blue eyes. She wore blue and white winter clothes. The next was a boy with short brown hair tied in ponytails on either side. He had a shaved head, his skin the same as the girl's, tan skin, sky-blue eyes, and his winter clothes were also blue with black accents. The girl and he looked like siblings. The last was a bald boy with strange tattoos. His skin was pale but not too pale and his eyes were light brown. His clothes were light yellow, his belt was orange, as was the short cape he wore over his shoulders, and his shoes were brown. He had a staff in his hand. The 3 boys left the creature while they went to explore the place, while Naruto secretly followed them. Naruto, Kurama, what do you think? Will they be dangerous? Naruto thought, watching the boys looking at a statue of a monk. Kurama, I don't think so for now, but be careful anyway. Naruto, we don't know what they might do, right? Kurama, yes. Keep your distance from them, Naruto. Naruto saw that they were now going to that place with the logs, where Naruto thought it was some kind of training those people were doing. But he saw that it was just a game where he saw that the bald boy could control the wind while the other dark-haired boy was losing. Naruto, according to what we heard from the old man, the avatar has to control the wind, right? Kurama, yes, and don't you call my father old brat. Naruto, oh well, but how delicate. Kurama HMP. Naruto kept watching the boys as they entered the temple. They were walking through the large halls of that place while he walked silently and stealthily along the roof. He saw that the bald man had done something and the doors opened. Naruto, interesting, thought Naruto, watching them train. When the 3 of them entered, Naruto sat on the roof, waiting for them to leave. But then he saw another strange creature with large ears, a small body, a tail, and what looked like wings on its arms. The creature had entered the place but then ran out, followed by the 2 boys. Naruto followed them, leaving a clone behind just in case. When the bald boy jumped out of a window, the other boy went the other way, so he also jumped out the window, sliding down with his feet attached to the wall. He walked calmly, and when he reached the ground, he hid again among the rubble and followed the bald boy. But he couldn't take another step when he entered a place and saw the other 2, so he hid again in the rubble. The 2 of them had entered. Only a few minutes passed before a very strong gust of wind ripped the roof off. Then he saw the bald boy, his tattoos were glowing as were his eyes. The girl and the boy, who must have been siblings, were looking at him in surprise. But what's going on? Katara discovered that the firebenders killed Gyatso. Katara, Sokka, we have to do something. Sokka, and what do you want me to do? Katara, we need to calm him down. Aang, I know what it feels like to lose someone. I know because the firebenders killed my mother. Aang didn't seem to respond, and the two approached him as best they could, but Katara was sent flying, though not far, as Naruto caught her. Naruto, are you okay? Katara, why yes. Naruto, I'll take care of it, back off. Not knowing what to do, the boys obeyed Naruto. He created 10 clones of himself who ran towards Aang. When Aang saw them, he sent them flying with a wave of his hand. The original Naruto was silently behind him and hit him on the back of the neck so hard that he fainted since Aang was distracted by his clones. Sokka, what was that? Naruto, hi. Sokka, who are you and how did you get here? Naruto, well, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and to answer your other question, climbing. But who are you and what are you doing around here with that flying creature? Sokka, how do you know we have a bison? Naruto, so that's the name of that creature. Katara, my name is Katara, this is my brother Sokka, and the one over there is our friend Aang, he's the Avatar. Naruto, so Avatar, but you haven't answered my other question, what are you doing in these parts? Katara, this was Aang's home and we came to visit him, how long have you been here? Naruto, I was following you all the way here even before you appeared. Sokka, but I would have noticed they were following us. Naruto, yes, normal people, but not a ninja like me. What we do is be stealthy and hide very well, plus we know how to conceal our presence. Katara, so that's why Sokka didn't know you were watching us. Naruto, that's right, come with me. Naruto took Aang and led the two brothers to another place, but not before sending a clone to collect the remains of the other person. When they arrived at a place, they saw a lot of graves. Sokka, what is this place? Naruto, I thought it was a good idea to bury the remains of the people who died so they can rest in peace. Sokka, and where do you come from? Naruto, not far away, I started my journey today to explore new places. What about you? Katara, we are from the Southern Water Tribe, but now we are accompanying the Avatar to the Northern Water Tribe. Naruto, why Katara? So they can teach her waterbending and if possible me too. Naruto, and do you know anything about waterbending? Katara, yes, why Naruto, and why don't you teach him what you know for now? Katara, I hadn't thought about it, but thanks for the advice. Naruto, you're welcome. Sokka, so you're a traveler. Naruto, yes, although I would also like to help those people who need it. Katara, we too, why don't we do this when Aang wakes up? We can talk about it so you can come with us. Naruto, really? I don't want to bother you guys. Katara, you're not bothering us, are you? Well, Sokka, why don't we set up camp? Sokka, okay. Naruto, I'll go and keep watch. If those firebending masters you're talking about can get here, then this place can't be a safe zone. Katara, okay. Naruto left, created a clone, set up camp, and ate peacefully while keeping an eye on the others who were also eating and talking until they went to sleep. Naruto, I'd better go to sleep too, thought Naruto, watching them go into their tents. Naruto finished eating and went into his tent to lie down on his futon and fall asleep. Chapter 7. Naruto had already packed everything in his backpack and was looking at the creature he'd heard was called a bison. He was watching it with great curiosity until he heard a voice behind him. What are you doing? Sokka, leave him alone, maybe he's looking at a Sokka, okay, has Katara woken up yet? Aang, Katara, if she's getting dressed. Naruto, so your name is Apaha. Sokka, if you think he's going to talk, you're very wrong. Naruto, so his animals don't talk. Naruto thought, looking at Apaha, but what happened to me yesterday? Katara, Aang, are you ready? Aang, yes. Katara, good, because we have someone to introduce you to. Aang, anyone. Sokka, if he is, where is he? When Katara saw Naruto, he was gone, but then the blonde boy appeared behind Aang. Naruto, hello. Aang, who are you? Naruto, wow, calm down, Databeo, I'm Naruto Uzumaki and you must be Aang the Avatar from what your friends told me, right? Aang, why yes, how did you get here? Naruto, like I told your friends, climbing Databeo, can't you guys do it? Aang, no, it's not that, it's just that the only way to get here is by riding a bison. This place has steep walls that you have to climb. Naruto, well, it wasn't too difficult for me to get here, but do you live here? Aang lived. Naruto, well, you have to see this. Naruto took Aang to the place where he buried the people and showed him a shovel. Naruto, I left it for you to do. I think his death affected you a lot. Aang, why yes. Naruto, but you must be strong, tell me, is this the first time you've seen your comrades fall? Aang, what? Naruto, if this is the first time you've lost people who were important to you. Aang, yes, they took care of me. Naruto, I understand, then get strong. Aang, why yes. Aang buried his master, then spoke with Sokka and Katara, who finally decided that Naruto could accompany them since Sokka had lost against Aang, Katara, Appa, and Momo, who was now also with them. They were now traveling on Appa. Naruto, this is awesome, Databeo. My friends would die of jealousy if they saw me, haha. Katara, so you do have friends. Naruto, sure well I had them. Katara, what happened? Naruto, they died protecting our village. Sokka, because of the firebenders. Naruto, it wasn't a war between other people that ended badly, but it doesn't matter anymore because I'll become strong so that it never happens again. Sokka, and how? Naruto, as a friend said, I'll become strong if I have people I love and want to protect. When you have someone very precious to you and they're in danger, you want to become strong no matter what to protect them. Sokka, seriously. Katara, that's cute, but I still don't understand why they do it. Naruto, people don't think with their hearts, they think with their heads. They pay more attention to greed and power because they are blinded, but if they open their eyes wide, maybe people will change their minds. I wish it were that way. Naruto, and why shouldn't you just try harder? Besides, peace can be achieved even through war, that's what I like least, but that's how some people are, they just don't want to listen. Sokka, wise words. Are you an old man in a child's body or are you a sorcerer? Naruto, I'm not a sorcerer, I'm a ninja, and I say that because I learned it from other people. Katara, those people were very wise indeed. Naruto, yes they were. Katara, and your parents. Naruto, they died before I was born. Katara, I'm so sorry. Naruto, it doesn't matter because I got to meet them. Katara, what? Naruto, in a way that only I could and they let me, it's getting dark. Sokka, we left the air nomads very late because Ong was unconscious. Ong, that wasn't my fault. HMPH. Naruto, yeah, sorry, I think I hit you too hard on the back of your neck. Ong, wait, was that you? Naruto, yes, although it wasn't very easy, the air was already lifting me off the ground. Katara, over there's a very nice clearing to rest in. Sokka, yes, a hip hip. After landing, they set up camp. Sokka looked for firewood for the campfire while Ong and Naruto made the tents and Katara was looking for food. Sokka, great, I can't light the campfire. Naruto, leave that to me. Naruto approached the campfire and made hand seals, confusing those present. Naruto, Katen, Gakekyu no Jutsu. Fire-style fireball jutsu. A small fireball came out of Naruto's mouth to help him understand the campfire, but when he saw the others, they were on guard. Sokka, you're a lying firebending master. Naruto, what? No, I'm not, guys, hahaha. What I use has nothing to do with them. Sokka, then why do you create fire from your mouth? Naruto, because I use chakra. Sokka, what? Naruto, chakra is a vital energy that very few people have, and I not only have fire but also lightning, water, earth, air, etc. Katara. Wait, you're a waterbender too, but how can that be if only the avatar can control all 4 elements? Naruto, I already told you it's not what you think. Besides, I can use chakra and it lets me use the 4 elements plus the other one, which is lightning. Sokka, it can't be. Ong, that's awesome. Naruto, that's why I'm a ninja databeo and I can sense the presence of all the animals around us. Sokka, wait, you're saying you can sense what's around us? Naruto, yes, why? Sokka, great, that way we don't have to worry about a Fire Nation firebender catching us off guard, haha. Naruto, let's eat, I'm hungry, hehe. Katara, yes, of course. They started eating, now a little more calmly. When they had all finished, they went to sleep, but Naruto left a clone of himself to keep watch just in case. Chapter 8. Everyone was talking about Appa because Naruto told them there were firebending masters about 100 meters away and they were getting closer. Sokka, I'm so tired. How come you wake up so early and you're not sleepy? Ong, yes, yawning, your secret. Naruto, well, because I'm already used to waking up early and not sleeping for a week. Sokka, what? Naruto, it's not that big of a deal. Katara, haha, Sokka gets grumpy if he doesn't sleep for a week. Naruto, haha, hey Kurama, I'm asking if you guys have a map. Kurama, that would be best. Naruto, by the way, do you guys happen to have a map? Katara, yes, we have it. Katara shows the map to Naruto and he begins to look at it. Naruto, okay, where are we going now? Ong, first we'll go to this place to ride the big koi fish. Naruto, koi fish. Ong, yes, they're very big. Naruto, I want to try it too. Sokka, but isn't it far from the northern water tribe? Ong, well, you're right about that, but first we have to go get some robberies. Katara, Ong, you need to learn waterbending quickly. Ong, I can do that later. Naruto, guys, it's good to be responsible, but it's also good to enjoy the journey with your loved ones because we only have one life in this world and we shouldn't waste it. Sokka, if you keep saying such wise things, I'll think you're an old man who lived a long time. Naruto, hey, Sokka, I'm just saying. Katara, that's enough, you two, but Naruto is right. Why don't we relax a little on this trip? Although first we need to buy more food. Sokka, okay. Ong, yes. Naruto, well, there's a small village very close to here, we can land there. Katara, okay. They had already landed where Naruto had told them there was a lake with a waterfall. Ong, okay, let's go to that little town. Naruto, Ong, I'm sorry, but you're staying here with Katara to practice waterbending while Sokka and I go shopping. Ong, what? Why? Katara, that would be a good idea. Sokka, then it's decided, come on Naruto, let's go shopping. Naruto, yeah, I hope you have fun. We'll be right back, Database. Naruto and Sokka left Katara and Aang to practice waterbending, although Aang had to learn it himself. Meanwhile, the other two who had gone shopping were walking until they arrived at the small town of Puebla that Naruto had mentioned earlier. Naruto, what do you mean we should separate? Sokka, that would be the best way to get back faster. Naruto, okay then, see you here. Sokka, yes. The two boys separated, going their separate ways. Naruto was walking, noticing the stares of some women on him, which made him nervous until he entered a food shop where there was an older woman. Woman, hello young man, what can I do for you? Naruto, a little meat, water, and vegetables. Woman, okay, is he traveling? Naruto, is it obvious? Woman, I still think you attract a lot of attention because of your hair and those eyes. Naruto, what's wrong with that? Woman, nobody has golden hair and sapphire blue eyes. Naruto, well, if he says it like that, maybe he's right, hee. Woman, haha, here you go young man. Naruto, thanks, here you go. Woman, thank you. Naruto left that place and continued walking to look at some weapons they were selling there until he ran into Sokka, who was also looking. Sokka, did you buy it yet? Naruto, it'll last us about 3 weeks. Sokka, and with my food we'll have plenty for 2 weeks. Naruto, so you're interested in weapons. Sokka, well yes, my father was a highly respected warrior in our tribe, until he went to fight in the war and never returned. Naruto, I'm sorry. Sokka, you like weapons too, don't you? Naruto, yeah, well actually I use ninja ones more. Sokka, will you teach me how to use them? Naruto, sure, I don't see why not. Besides, if you want, I can train you in some things. Sokka, are you serious? Naruto, yes, and it can also teach you to be stealthy. Sokka, like a ninja. Naruto, well yes. Sokka, when do my trainings start? Naruto, when we get there with the others. Sokka, okay, we'll rest for 2 days. Naruto, that sounds like a good idea to regain our strength since we almost got caught last time. Sokka, if so, then let's go. Naruto and Sokka left there, heading towards the others until they found them training in waterbending. It seemed that Aang was making great progress. Naruto, we're here. Katara, guys, were you lucky? Naruto, well, I don't think we'll buy food for a few weeks if they don't finish it all. Aang, that's great, he can only learn 2 things, nothing more. Katara, yes, but you're making progress, she said with a forced smile that Sokka and Naruto noticed made the blonde boy confused. Naruto, okay, we'll stay here for 2 days to rest and then we'll go where Aang wants. Katara, okay. Aang, awesome, hahaha. Sokka, okay then let's eat. They made a campfire, set up their tents with their sleeping bags, then began to eat since Katara had cooked the food. Naruto, Katara, is something wrong, Naruto? Naruto, no, I was just thinking about my friends. Katara, oh, okay. Naruto, Kurama, why does the image of that girl named Azula sometimes pop into my head? Naruto thought, staring into the fire after finishing his meal. Kurama, hey kid, don't you realize? Naruto, realize what? Kurama, you're in love. Naruto, in love, Kurama. Yes, but you fell in love with your enemy, kid. Naruto, I know he's our enemy, I just don't know how it happened. Kurama, kid, love comes when it wants, so you wouldn't know. Well, only when you feel butterflies in your stomach. Naruto, Kurama, butterflies don't eat Databeo. Kurama, it's a way of saying gaki, or if you don't feel weird when you're with her. Naruto, I understand, thought Naruto as he stood up and went into his tent to sleep like the others who had already done so. Chapter 9. It was morning and Naruto could be seen watching Sokka, who was dying and had only completed 10 laps out of 30. Naruto, come on Sokka, even a little girl could do it. Sokka, but what did you put on my arms and ankles? Naruto, only gravity seals are like weights and have about 10 kilos on each wrist and ankle. Sokka, do you want to kill me? Naruto, I don't just want to strengthen your stamina and strength. You'll thank me soon enough and you'll get so used to it that you won't even notice you're wearing weights. Sokka, well, no, I don't think that will happen. Naruto, no, not now Sokka, you have to do this for at least a week and I'll add more weight. Sokka, what? Naruto, and if Sokka, this is nothing compared to what you'll do when we move on to the next level. Sokka, I'm going to die, Sokka thought, sweating profusely and turning pale. Naruto, I'll go see how Katara and Aang are doing, Naruto thought, but he left a clone to watch Sokka's training. When he arrived where the other two were, he saw Katara looking at him with a forced smile again since Aang was making great progress. Naruto, hello, how are you all doing? Aang, very well, I'm making a lot of progress. Katara, yes. Naruto, I see that. Katara, can we talk alone for a moment? Katara, of course, I'll be right back. Aang, keep practicing that. Aang, yes. Naruto moved a little away from Aang with Katara looking at him confused. Naruto, is something wrong? Katara, what? No, why Naruto? So why do you force a smile every time Aang makes progress? Katara, did you notice? Naruto, yes, and I think Sokka does too, or at least he doesn't realize it. Ong, aren't you happy that Ong is progressing? Katara, of course I am, it's just that it bothers me a little that he learns the techniques in a day when I learned them in a week. Naruto, it's normal to feel jealous of someone, they seem very good at what you do. Katara, you're not very good at cheering people up now. Naruto, that's not it. I'm saying that I used to be the dead weight of the class, the worst at everything, and my rival Sasuke was the best. Honestly, I wasn't jealous of him, I was happy. But I wanted him to acknowledge me as his rival, but it seems he didn't, and it frustrated me a lot. Katara, what did you do? Naruto, I focused on training and becoming very strong so he would recognize me, but instead I made him jealous and he distanced himself. But you know you could do the opposite and not do what Sasuke and I did. Come back strong alongside him and you'll be equals. Katara, you're right Naruto, thanks for your advice. Naruto, you're welcome. Katara went to where Ong was and continued teaching him what she knew while Naruto watched them. Kurama, who would have thought you could speak wisely to people? Naruto, hey, I can be a wise boy whenever I want. Kurama, I'm starting to doubt that you're still my Jinchuriki, you know. Naruto, Kurama, you're so cruel. Kurama, yes, Hinata. Naruto went to where Sokka was, who was now learning to fight with basic taijutsu from the academy. Hours passed and Sokka was now lying down, very tired. Katara, Sokka, don't exaggerate so much. Naruto's training couldn't have been horrible. Sokka, you can't have an opinion when you didn't do it. Ong, is it that bad? Sokka, run 30 laps, do 20 sit-ups, push-ups, squats, and sit-ups with 10 kilos on your wrists and ankles and start practicing martial arts. Ong D, it seems like infernal training. Naruto, I only taught you the beginner taijutsu from the academy and more rounds will be added, as well as weights and more. Sokka was pale while Katara and Ong were sweating profusely and felt sorry for him. Naruto lit the campfire where Katara began to cook with the blonde boy's help. Once they were ready, they began to eat very peacefully. After finishing, they simply went to sleep. Chapter 10. It was already morning, everything was calm, good for Ong and Katara since Sokka was suffering through the hard training that Naruto had given him who was watching him. Naruto, hey Kurama, do you think I went overboard with his training? Kurama, no, if that brat wants to be strong, he needs to be in rigorous training. Naruto, yes, but he's not used to it. I think I should give him more suitable training. Kurama, the kid wants to be strong, and if you give him easy training, he'll never be strong. What's more, they'll keep giving me the easiest things. Naruto, yeah, I think you're right. Sokka continued training, but they had to leave to keep progressing. Naruto, you know Sokka, I was thinking about another training exercise you could do while we're traveling. Sokka, and what is it? Naruto, training is meditation. Sokka, and how will that help me? Naruto, don't get confused, meditation can be very useful so that other people don't play with your mind or manipulate you. Sokka, awesome, and how do you do it? Naruto, you close your eyes, it will concentrate you until you don't feel any sound or touch, but it can also help you channel something else that is very good. Sokka, and what would that be? Naruto, when you concentrate, you can activate your 5 senses, but especially the other 2, which are smell and sound. For example, if you're in a fight and one of your opponents plays dirty and throws dirt in your eyes, the only thing you can do is listen and smell. With that, you can guide yourself. Sokka, then I wouldn't have to worry about getting my eyesight back. Great. Naruto, yes, but it will be difficult. It's not so easy to concentrate, so I'm going to ask Ong and Katara to make some noise while you try to meditate. Sokka, and why would I ask that of them? Naruto, because it will be much easier if you meditate in silence but not if there is noise. My sensei taught me this, but I had to stand by a waterfall to be able to concentrate. Sokka, I understand now. Katara, don't worry Naruto, Ong and I will make a lot of noise. And so Sokka did what Naruto had told him, but it was very difficult to meditate when you had 2 people talking to you and touching your shoulder, which made it even harder, and that's what Naruto wanted. Sokka, this is difficult, it can't be done. Naruto, Sokka, try it, you're focused on what's happening around you, which you shouldn't be doing. Sokka, okay. Katara, Naruto, are you sure it's possible? Naruto, yes, Sokka just needs patience and self-control. Ong, hey Momo, how about you sit on Sokka's head, I don't think he'll mind, haha. Katara, I think Ong is taking teasing Sokka a little too seriously. Naruto, that's better. They continued traveling a little further, until they landed in another forest with a very pretty clearing and a small lake. Naruto, okay Sokka, you'll leave your other meditation training for later. When we continue traveling, you'll continue your other training like yesterday. Sokka, SC. Sokka had done what Naruto told him, although meditating left him very mentally tired, something Naruto noticed, so he gave him a 5-minute break. Katara, Ong, that's not right, look at me closely how I do it. Ong. Naruto watched Katara and Ong training until he thought about his own physical training as well. Naruto, Katara, Ong has a question. Katara, yeah, Naruto, how's your physical training going? Ong, training, Katara, physical. Naruto, apparently they never had any physical training because they rely heavily on their elemental abilities, right? Katara, well, I think so. Naruto, well, I want to tell you that you should never overconfident in your abilities. At some point you'll be in a situation where you can't use them. Katara, well, now that you mention it, maybe you're right. You're right, Naruto, could you train us too? Naruto, sure, but only when you learn to properly control the water control that Katara is teaching you. Ong. They continued training for a few hours until Katara ran out of things to teach Ong, so they resumed their physical training. Sokka, who had started again after his 5-minute break, was also training. Everyone was giving it their all, while Naruto sat on a rock with his eyes closed, lost in thought, talking to Kurama about this dimension and how they would return to their world. Hours passed, night was falling, and they were running low on meat since Ong was a vegetarian. Naruto had to go hunting so Sokka would have some. After Naruto returned with a dead rabbit for the rabbit, they ate peacefully. Then Ong, Katara, and Sokka went to sleep since it was Naruto's turn for first watch. They spent the night there, though Naruto had created a clone while he slept comfortably on a tree branch.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.